നാളെ ഏകദേശം okay. Anyway, tomorrow by 2:35 we are going to have the launch operations for Chandrayaan 3, and this is the Chandrayaan 3, and earlier we have two launches. In 2008 October we have the Chandrayaan 1 launch. It was a great success, and the second 2019 we have Chandrayaan 2, which we, as far as we are called, we concerned, it is about a 90% success, we may call it, but the ultimate goal could not be attained that, so the media and all other people may tell it is a failure. But we learned a lot from Chandrayaan 2, though it was ultimately called as a failure, but we have learned a lot, and we have learned a lot in such a way that, what are things to be studied and what are things to be changed, that is under. And 3, Chandrayaan 3 is going to be a mission with all corrective actions whichever would have caused a failure in the Chandrayaan 2. There is a difference between Chandrayaan 2 and Chandrayaan 3 also. Chandrayaan 2 also we have a lander rover system. We envisaged to have a soft landing, but the landing could not be soft due to certain errors in the software, logic control, algorithms and etc. It's a combination of the effects. Now all those parameters have been studied again. It has been modified suitably. Enough number of test trials, experiments and simulations have been done, and we have obtained enough confidence for a launch tomorrow. Chandrayaan 3 is different in the way it does not have an orbiter like Chandrayaan 2. As you know, Chandrayaan 2 we have an orbiter. That orbiter is still live. We are getting data from the Chandrayaan 2 orbiter. It is still live, and we are going to make use of that orbiter for the Chandrayaan 3 also. This time what we are going to separate launch at 100 kilometers in Chandrayaan is, it is a 2 module system which we call, one is the propulsion module and the second is the lander module, lander rover combination module. These two things together is about 3.8 tons weight. It's about 2.45 and about 1.35 tons each, it weighs. From the propulsion module, once the lander module is separated, then onwards the lander will be approaching to the moon surface. That is the most critical aspect as far as we are concerned, because that movement is to be properly controlled based on lot of data parameters we are getting from different sensors. So all these output from the sensors, number one is the gravitational force effective at the Chandrayaan surface, the ambience, the atmosphere, the temperature and the conditions on the Chandrayaan surface, and the velocity by which the lander has to be decelerated, because it should not have a free fall because of the attraction of the moon, which last time it happened for the Chandrayaan 2. That is the way it got damaged by an impact. Now we are using an excellent control by throttling the liquid engine. Throttling, I mean, is the speed, the velocity, the thruster capacity, the thruster force can be controlled. Earlier, our liquid engines were used for on or off condition. That means either the valve will be open or valve will be closed. Now this throttling system, we can control the thrust levels of the burning of the liquid thrusters by adjusting the valve from 0 to maximum, like what we do in a car, the petrol engine carburetor, what we are controlling, the same way we can do. That is called the throttling of the engine. With all these things etc., we are very confident now the lander can be moved to the desired level of speed as it approaches the moon surface, and the landing will be very smooth and it will be a perfect soft landing without making any damage to any part of the lander. And also the lander legs have been stiffened, additional precautions have been taken so that the leg will not get damaged during the impact, even if it is a soft landing. Now once the landing is successful, I think we will be extremely happy. The first phase is over. Then the next thing is the rover has to roll out of the lander and it has to move. And the time what we have taken, it's in the August 23-24 period. It will be the day period in moon. I mean, there is 14 days and 14 nights. 14 plus 14 is the way, you know, they are like we have 24 hour, 12 hours daytime and 12 hours night time. There it is 14 days day, 14 nights, like that. So we are putting that 14 days, beginning of the 14 days daytime where sunlight is available, and then the all experiment will be conducted within the 14 days by the rover, and the data regarding the soil, the elements available in the soil, its magnetic field and its temperature and X-ray spectrometry effects, many things, you know, we are supposed to get. And during that particular time also, the orbiter which is already in position from Chandrayaan 2 will be made use of for the communication purposes also.
Sir, can you describe about our launch vehicle?
The launch vehicle we are using, as everybody knows, is the launch vehicle Mark III is being used. It is the biggest vehicle ISRO had any time, and that vehicle will be a real success for us. You know, that vehicle's capacities, it can carry 4-ton payload. Now we are using about 3.8 ton for the Chandrayaan 3. But for this vehicle, this program would not have been on at all. Because for any program, even Gaganyaan, you know, it requires about minimum of 4 tons capacity it is required for the payload carrying capacity. And that vehicle now we are so confident that about 6 operations, 6 missions, 2 development mission and 4 missions. This is the 4th successful mission after the development missions, you know. That is why it is called LVM3 M4, mission 4. So enough confidence we have obtained for that. For Gaganyaan, this has been made man-rated by improving the reliability. For the Gaganyaan program, which is going to come by 1 year, by 2024, we are going to have the Gaganyaan after having 2 trials, 2 launches with the human module, without human. So the module is to be sent for proving its launch, life supporting systems and all other things to be made. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.